Hello my fellow Gooners and welcome to Arsenal TV. This is my preview for the Arsenal versus Valencia game, second leg tonight at the Emirates Stadium. We are 2 games away from a European final. Now Arsenal come off with this game with 3 defeats. We've conceded 9 goals, and at the moment there's kind of like a bad vibe going around the club at the moment because of those 3 defeats. Europa League comes around, we kind of seem to wake up, and when we kind of seem to put in the performances like we need to do, but we need to also do that in the league. Now I feel that Unai Emery, based on the Crystal Palace game, I feel that Emery actually figured out and thought, you know what, Europa League will be our main priority. Now, if you think about it, now we're going to talk about go back to the Napoli game. Now, Arsenal need to show, like they did against the Napoli game. We got 2 goals at home. We didn't really concede a goal at all. And then we went over to Naples and got the away goal. And I honestly did not thought that a 1 goal would be enough, because I didn't know the way Napoli was going to play. But, you know, they didn't play that great, to be honest. And we end up going through 3-0 on aggregate. So yeah, I think we need to put in a very, very good performance, and that's what needs to be done. Now let's go into our opponents, and that is Valencia. They are currently 6th in La Liga at the moment. Valencia have only lost 7 games this season, but it's their draws, it's their games of their draws that they've got that's made them get that 6th spot at the moment. Now here's a good stat for you. Valencia have lost less games than Real Madrid, and that's one that, and as I said, it's their draws that are keeping them in that 6th place. They are 3 points from a Champions League spot, so they're kind of in the same predicament as us, thinking that maybe the Europa League is their only option in getting into Champions League next season. At the last time out, they lost in the league 1-0 at home as well. So you probably might look at that and think, well, they're more focused on Europa League game than they were that league game. They lost also to Atletico Madrid 3-2 away, but they also got 2 away goals, and we don't want that. We don't really want Valencia to score 2 away goals, because if they do, then they can turn around and say, right, we can end this, we could play a nice controlled game, and then finish it. That's what they can do. They can pretty much shut up shop. They've got 3 La Liga games left at the moment, and 4th spot for them is still in their hands at the moment. It's there for the taking. Valencia have also got a Copa del Rey final against Barcelona. So really, if you think about it, Valencia ain't no mugs. They ain't no mugs. They've got a decent side. Now, if you look at there is 2 familiar faces that are going to be coming back to the Emirates, and the first one is going to be Francis Coquelin. Now, I remember that when he played for us, and his name was in that starting 11 when we played against Watford, I think it was. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, oh my God, what is Wenger doing? But it turns out in that match, Francis Coquelin actually got man of the match. So that's one player that is going to want to prove a point. Also, Gabriel Paulista, a player that I've met as well. He's also going to be wanting to prove a point to Arsenal. If you think about it now, when he was playing for Arsenal, I think that we let him go too early, and I think that he was mistreated as well. But he's going to be there to prove a point as well. And now I'm kind of looking at it and thinking, now we've seen how he's playing over in Valencia, and he's doing absolutely fantastic. And then we've got the likes of Mustafi. I feel that we've actually drawn the short straw on that one. I think maybe we should have kept him and got rid of Mustafi at that point. But as I said, we are 2 games away for a European final. and it's going to be the atmosphere at the Emirates tonight is going to be absolutely brilliant, and I'm really looking forward to this game. Emery needs to get the team selection spot on. He has to. So I think that the Europa League should be now our main priority to get into Champions League next season. So guys, with that said, I am going to get into the team news, and team news came out yesterday. I found out yesterday that Aaron Ramsey is going to be out for the rest of this campaign. He's no longer going to be playing for Arsenal, and that is I'm absolutely gutted for that because of his injury that he got against Napoli. So that Napoli game was the last game that you see him in an Arsenal shirt, and it's very gutting really, because I think that he's been an absolute servant for this club, and he's always given 110% every time he's been on the field. So I wish Aaron Ramsey all the very best when he goes to Juventus, and it is a shame that we are getting rid of him. So guys, I'm now going to get into my predicted lineup, and this is what I am going with. So in goal, I'm going to go with Bernd Leno. For me, I feel that he is a stronger goalkeeper, and I think that this is what we need to go with. I think he was the only player that actually got a decent rating, and I think he's the only person that can come out there and say come out with his head held high. That's no disrespect to Petr Cech, but if Emery's thinking that this should be our main priority, then let Petr Cech play the rest of the 2 Premier League games and let him go off on a high. So yeah, and that's no disrespect to Petr Cech. He hasn't really put a foot wrong during this Europa League, but I feel that we have to go with our best goalkeeper, so that will be Bernd Leno. We're going to move into the defensive area. I'm going with a 3 at the back, and I feel this is what Emery needs to go with. So, playing in that back line, first off, I'm going to go with Laurent Koscielny. Wasn't a very good performance against Leicester whatsoever. I think that he was very poor, one of his worst games, I think, in the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, I'm hoping that he needs to really tighten up those screws. So I'm going to go with Laurent Koscielny. Playing alongside him is going to be Sokratis. Now for me, Sokratis, I think that has been one of his worst performances in an Arsenal shirt. And I really do hope that he can actually put in a decent performance, because, you know, Europa League, this is it. This is time for Arsenal to write history in their name. So yeah, I'm going to go with Sokratis. Playing alongside them is going to be Nacho Monreal. I'm bringing him back in the squad. I know he's been left out against the Leicester game because of an injury, I think it was. But yeah, I'm going to bring him back. But one thing Monreal needs to do, he needs to keep a lookout down the channels and not get caught out on the left-hand side, because that's his problem. He always keeps getting caught out in the channels and obviously down that side. So I'm going to go with Nacho Monreal. We're going to move into the wing backs. First off, right wing back, I'm going to go with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Now, Ainsley Maitland-Niles has not been suspended for the Europa League. It's only for the Premier League. And I'm hoping that he can put in a better performance in this game than he done against Leicester. So that is what I'm going to go with, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Playing at left wing back, I'm going to go with Sead Kolasinac. He's got everything going forward, but it's just that final delivery. When he gets that final third, it's just that final delivery. It's been woeful, let's put it that way. It's been absolutely dreadful. So that is what he needs to work on, and I'm hoping that he will cause defensive problems, I think, going down that side. And I think he will cause more attacking problems, mostly. So I'm going to go with Sead Kolasinac. I'm going to move into the midfielding area. First off, it's going to be Lucas Torero. For me, I feel that Lucas Torero didn't have a bad game against Leicester. I think he was one of the only outfield players that I feel had a decent game-ish. But, you know, you can't really help it when you've got players that are playing like a bunch of dicks around you that are not playing well. How are you supposed to perform? You just can't. But I'm hoping that he puts in a good performance. So I'm going to go with Lucas Torero. Playing alongside him is going to be Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka, for me, I feel that, I don't know, people may disagree, but I think his time may be up at Arsenal. I think that maybe he should leave, because I know there's players out there that is better than Granit Xhaka. There's no doubt about that. I feel that he was just letting Maddison just past him, literally during that Leicester game, and it was just absolutely a joke. And that was one of his worst performances as well. So I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka. I'm going to move into the attacking area. First off, in that number 10 role, I'm going to go with Mesut Ozil. I don't think Ozil has played well for the past few games. He's had okay performances, but not the best. The only reason why I've gone with Mesut Ozil, because Ramsey is injured. This is where I feel I would have gone with Aaron Ramsey, but I'm going for Ozil simply because, you know, Ramsey is injured. And I'm hoping that he's going to cause problems in that midfield. I'm hoping that he's going to dictate the pace. I'm hoping that he's going to get into those chances to open up the defence of Valencia. So it's worth it. Let's go for it. So I'm going to go with Mesut Ozil. I'm going to play with the two strikers up front. First off, out on the left side, I am going to go with Alexander Lacazette. One of his bad performances against Leicester, to be quite honest. The ball just was not falling to him. But you can't, you know, fool him for his work rate. He did put in hard work to shut that ball down, but maybe just not hard enough. But yeah, if he's going to get chances, he needs to take them. So I'm going to go with Alexander Lacazette. Out on the right hand side, I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, that was one of his worst performances against Leicester. His work rate was dreadful. There was nothing. He wasn't putting in the effort whatsoever. Didn't take the chances that came to him that he should have took. And against Leicester, Aubameyang didn't look like a player that was chasing for the golden boot. He just didn't look like the player. So yeah, he better put in a good performance in tonight, because as I said, it's time to make history. So I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So guys, that has been the preview. That has been my predicted lineup. Let me know in the comment section below if you agree or if you disagree, and let me know your predicted score. My predicted score is going to be a 3-0 Arsenal. I will go with 3-0 Arsenal. Guys, thank you to the 730 subscribers that have subscribed to the YouTube channel. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and make sure you're hitting that notification bell so you don't miss another video. Guys, as I said, this game tonight is a must-win. It's Arsenal's chance to make history and to win a European trophy. What more does it get? I know everyone will say, yeah, it's the Europa League. I don't care if it is the Europa League. It's still a European trophy. We have not won a European trophy since 1994, when George Graham won the Cup Winners' Cup. Now, that was the year I was born. So I want Arsenal to see a European trophy, to win a European trophy. The last time that we was in a European final was back in 2006 with the Invincibles, when we was playing against Barcelona in the Champions League final. But at the end of the day, this is a European trophy still. So we might as well go in it with open arms and just take this game by the scruff of the neck. Emery has to get the tactics right, and Emery has to get the predicted lineup. He has to get the lineup right. I'm sorry. So guys, until the players' ratings, which will be after the game, I will see you lot soon. I am out of here.